Greetings. Thank you for joining the Earth Angels Writing YouTube channel. I'm back delivering weekly spiritual messages based off of the times we are now living in and covering trending news and topics. If you would like to subscribe, go ahead and do that now. If you would like to hit the notification bell, you may do that as well. I wanted to quickly come on here and join in the conversation about the comment that Jermaine Dupri made towards female rappers. And I'm just going to paraphrase. I guess he said something as if they asked him, which I guess his favorite or who are some of the best female rappers out there. And his response and paraphrasing was like, he don't really see one as being the best. They're mostly like strippers who trying to do music, talking about, just selling sex. And I just want to come on and say, I know it was a lot of outrage, and you know how they do on social media. Something is trending every week, every day, and it's going to be an outrage for a couple of days. Then we move on to the next or fade away. But I just felt like this was a topic that I can jump in on because I can really give a more spiritual meaning behind it. Now, I'm going to say I totally understand what he was saying, and I just saw it come in my Explorer on Instagram. I guess the Shade Room had posted it. So I had seen what he had said before I seen everybody else in response to it. And when he said it, I immediately agreed with it because that's what you see out in the mainstream. And coming from the 90s and growing up from the 90s, we are just going to, when it comes to music, we just have a different perception. And we're just going to judge, I don't want to say harshly, but our standards are really, really high so far as what we are exposed to in the music. And I don't mean it's right or wrong. I'm not saying like we're the standard. But it's kind of like the OGs coming up, and the legends, Aretha Franklin and Dionne Warwick, and their perception and how they look at, the music industry and the work that you put in, because we know even recently Dionne Warwick was saying that she didn't see Beyonce as an icon, like it was still more work to do. And that's coming from their perception, and even though people were attacking her, every generation has a different perception and standard when it comes to music, what's iconic and what is legendary. So I'm very much into the 90s. So I knew exactly what he meant because they use mainstream media. That's what's important. That's what they use to really target the kids. When it comes to music and hip hop, they're targeting the kids. Yes, it's, rap and hip hop touches all ages, and we all have genres and our favorite artists. But the powers that be, when they're putting out music and when they're deciding and selecting who's going to be out front in mainstream, they want to know it's all about how they can influence the youth, the children. And usually what they see out in the mainstream putting out there are the rappers that are selling, talking about, certain type of raunchy lyrics and how they look and how they dress. Nicki Minaj came up on that. Cardi B is doing that. I even seen that other rapper, was her name Megan Thee Stallion? I don't know much about her, but I was on YouTube and here she go. How they make suggestions, and she on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and I'm like, what is she doing up here? I didn't feel like she had reached that status because I hadn't heard of her. She could be doing big things, but I'm just saying, you're going to be looking at what's the mainstream media. And she was up there singing her raunchy lyrics. I keep my cat in it. And I was just like, really? But this is what they're pushing. And this is what sells. Because this is what they want to push and sell to get the minds of the youth and the children. That's what it's really all about. So us adults and what we saying, we have to change the narrative. And I guess coming up in the 90s, we had much diversity out in the mainstream. We had Queen Latifah, we had MC Lyte, we had Foxy Brown, we had a Little Kim. If you wanted to listen to NWA, we had a Tribe Called Quest. We had so many different aspects and diversity. So we thought the music would get better. But it seemed like it's taken, I don't want to say a step back, but it's definitely going down a different path where in the mainstream, the ones that they're pushing out front, it is just really about selling sex and selling sex to the kids and to the youth. And then, they did list, I know a lot of people list a lot of other female rappers that are doing their thing that's not as well known, that's been doing it for a long time. I didn't know all of them, but I think her name, Rhapsody. I did come across her, and is it Mui Fresh? Or I like her, so I came across her. And if you listen to that type of music, then you're going to find, other rappers that are more conscious and spiritual. But I'm talking about the youth. They're targeting the youth. So 9 out of 10, they looking at what's out there, what's popping, what's trending, what's popular. Not too many of the youth is going to be really connected to, these conscious, more rappers, or be able to find and connect with them. Their audience base may be a little bit more refined, a little bit more mature. Not that they don't have a younger audience, but they're not out in the mainstream. So they're not making as much of an impact or a wave as these mainstream rappers that they're pushing. And they're only going to push you if you're talking about certain things. And Cardi B even addressed this. She know that it sells. She know that if she want to be played on the radio, if she wants to be featured and covered, that, it sells. So, but the one thing I would have to say about her, I kind of, give her a shout out that she credited some of these other female rappers that were not talking about it, but who is she supporting? I mean, if you want more people to support them, why don't you bring them onto your platform? That's how you do that. I mean, you kind of really connecting with, I don't know who songs do she have with, far as the city girls, far as other female rappers. Y'all let me know, because I ain't keeping up with it like that. But the city girls, that girl Miami, she's similar to her. So if you have a larger platform and you are so concerned about wanting these very talented young female rappers to get their message out there, bring them onto your platform. Do a song with them. Don't just shout them out. Put your money where your mouth at. Really support them. Put money in the pocket. Help them make an impact. Help them make those money moves so they can get out there, because a lot of the rappers that the people were saying I was not familiar with, and a lot of people are not going to be familiar with them. Not to say that they're not doing good work, but that's just how it rolls. I have a sister that is a very talented rapper, and she's been trying to rapping for the past 5 years, and she raps about more positive message, and she having a hard time making her way just locally, because most of the girls that's dressing a certain way, looking a certain way, talking a certain way, they're going to get the shine. So a lot of people say that they want this, and these, female rappers that are talking more positive are not getting supported. Yes, because you're not supporting them. If you want to see them, you got to talk with your money. You got to talk with your dollars. You got to talk with your support. You have to talk with your love. Everybody know that sex sells, so we not going to pretend and act like it doesn't. And it's the same thing for the men. They have to talk about this thug life, or whatever popping, or the drug life, or the women and things of that nature. I have another second cousin that's rapping, and he's a very positive young man, and I just came across his music because my other cousin shared it with me, and I'm like, what is he talking about? He talking about all this thug life and gang banging and all this stuff that he didn't grow up doing, was never exposed to. So I asked his uncle, which is my first cousin, like, what is he talking about? Well, you know what they got to do to get it popping, and he tried to take the other route, and it wasn't it wasn't doable. I mean, that's just how it is. That's just human nature. People are more gravitated towards negativity because we live in a very evil and satanic world. People resonate with that. Just think about it. I don't have many subscribers. I'm sure if I come on here every week, several times a week, talking about positivity, spirituality, my numbers is not going to grow quicker if I get on here and be loud, obnoxious, let my, old ghetto Detroit side come out and gossip and talk about everybody. Then it'll be somebody will be watching. My numbers will go up. These same people who saying, they want positivity. No, they don't. They want drama. That's why Love and Hip Hop and all these shows is always trending in the black community, because that's what they gravitate to, drama. I mean, look at the video that I have put out that was somewhat spiritual and positive. Honey, they got about 20 views, okay? People not trying to hear that, okay? So I see what they are saying. I see what Cardi B and them are saying. If they felt like they could be successful and be in mainstream with a positive message, then maybe more of the female rapper than these girls and even men will come out with a more positive message and platform. But when they know that sex sells and that to be out in mainstream media, they have to look a certain way, they have to sell sex, they have to do certain things, it kind of puts them in the box of, I want to be successful, so this is what I have to do. And then all the other conscious rappers who are not willing to do that, they know that they got to grind more. They got to put more work in. I know one of them was saying she been doing it for 10 years and, her name may not be a household name, and that's okay. Because you know what? I would rather stand on my platform, stand on what I believe in, than to take the easy way out and sell out. Because that's what you're doing. You're really selling out. That's really what you're doing. You selling out. And we could say, well, men doing it and they don't get the criticism of women. Okay, yes, it's a sexist world. But at the end of the day, everybody is really just selling out. If you standing on a platform and you making money off of people, your own people, and you are promoting thug life, gang life, stripper life, using your body to get men, using men for money and coming up on men like, those city girls be talking about, then you selling out. And you know that you could be talking about something else. You know that what you saying is wrong, but you know that's what you have to say to be successful. So that's, in essence, is what selling out is. You don't have to get put a 5-point star in your bedroom and get a Ouija board and sell out to Satan and do all of that. You could sell out just like that. You could sell out on your job. If you at a job and you know that job is not something you standing for, and they got you doing things that is against your morals and what you believe in, and you not trying to work your way out that situation, you just gonna play the game and be cutthroat and try to climb the corporate ladder and do anything you got to do, you selling out. So basically that's what the other ones are selling sex, they selling out. Because if you are a rapper, you are an artist, you sell your art. Period. You sell your work. And if that's not good enough to get you a mainstream name, then it's not going to be good enough. Now, going back to what Jermaine Dupri was saying, he just strictly going on from the 90s where those women was doing it. Those women had lyrics. Those women had bars. Those women had messages. MC Light, Queen Latifah, even Little Kim. I mean, she wasn't everybody cup of tea because she was selling sex too. But it was so much of a diversity, But I just don't see that in the mainstream artists out there. Even I don't see no lyrics that I'm going to hold on to. It's just like, it's very sensationalized, it's very trendy. They're not artists, they really going on trends and just putting music out that I don't think has no longevity. I don't look at Nicki Minaj as having no longevity I said that in one of my other videos. To me, it's just baby bop little rhymes how she came out. I don't see it. Now, it's definitely is appealing to the youth that she was targeting at the time. But, coming from the 90s, I don't see no woman putting in no bars and no work. I just don't see it. I like Remy Ma because, she came from the 90s. I liked her. I like her bars. I like her work. But, far as everybody else, I don't see it. So I understand where he's coming from. I don't think he was trying to put anybody down. I really am happy that he did make the statement and start a conversation. And I kind of see some maturity in Cardi B, because I kind of see that she got it. She responded. She gave an honest answer on why she's doing what she's doing, whether you accept it or not. And she knows what he's saying. She knows that he's right in what he's saying, because she knows that she's probably consciously, like she said, making a decision to talk about these things, to sell and to be mainstream, to be pushed out there. So, and I think some of the other rappers who were more positive, I think the way they got offended, because it's like, they was like, I think it was more so they was hurt. Like, okay, how can he say that when we're putting in all this work and we got this passion for the art? And maybe they kind of felt like he should at least know some of their names to even kind of get him a shout out. So I kind of see what they were saying. So that's why they kind of responded in the way that they did. It was more like, I dare you. What about me? Like, you could have said my name. But Jermaine Dupri, once again, his mind is focusing on the mainstream, what we see. And I hate to say this, but I ain't gonna say that's important, but when we talking about this type of world and what we dealing with in this country, that's what the mainstream, that's what they using to promote their agenda. So those of them that have platforms like Cardi B or the City Girls or everybody else, or even Megan Thee Stallion, seem like she being pushed out there, it's gonna kind of be up to them to kind of, I won't say pull these other women up, because they putting in work and they don't need no handout, but to use your platform to give them more recognition. But at the same stance, I mean, they may not even be looking at it like that, because they too busy over here selling what they selling. So I don't know. I'm just putting my opinion out there.